It's time for Tennessee Prime, an inside, in-depth look at Tennessee football through the eyes of those that wear the orange and white. Fried up each week by Gus's world-famous fried chicken. Hosted by the sports animals Jason Swain and VolQuest Austin Price and Brent Hubbs. Welcome to Tennessee Prime.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Tennessee Prime, brought to you by Gus's world-famous fried chicken. I am Jason Swain of 991 The Sports Animal, joined by my good friend, Brent Hubbs of VolQuest.com with On 3. We got a good one today for you. We'll be joined by Joe Milton in the second segment, as well as Ramel Keaton. But for now, it's me and Brent Hubbs. Hubbs, what a week. How you doing, brother?
I'm good. I've seen it, so I believe it now, right? That's how this thing goes. Just a terrific win by Tennessee just to get over that hump. And, as a former player, sometimes winning's hard, right? And sometimes you make it a little harder than you're supposed to make it. But when you're trying to beat somebody you haven't beaten a whole lot, winning's hard. And we saw that on Saturday, but credit to this staff, credit to this team, credit to Hendon Hooker for leading the way. This team found a way to win when, again, it's not always easy to win, is it, Jason?
No, it's not. And you don't complain about how you win. You don't take it for granted because it's hard to win in this conference. It's hard to win, period, in college football. You look around the country, Brent, and there's teams that have better rosters that have lost to teams with inferior rosters. And MTSU is the latest to go down there and pick off a big-time Power 5 program. So Tennessee was the better team going into this game. You got to give credit to Florida. Florida had a nice game plan, I thought, offensively. They have good players, and those players play hard. I think Bill Napier is going to be okay, but it was Tennessee's night. It was Tennessee. They made the plays to win the game, and down towards the end, they made it interesting. But that's an opportunity to teach and understand that you keep your foot right there on the opponent's neck. You can't get comfortable because the opponent is not going to give up. So you won, and you have some life lessons, some game lessons that you can kind of learn, build upon and get better as you go through the SEC schedule.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And obviously Tennessee's got the week off to do that, and they've got a week off to get well. Jason, you've seen a lot of football at Tennessee. You follow a lot of football around the SEC. You've seen a bunch. Where do you put Hendon Hooker's performance in terms of performances you have witnessed, whether in person or watched on TV? Where do you put a 22 for 28, 349-yard, 2-touchdown day to go along with 112 yards and a rushing touchdown and 13 carries? Where do you put that in kind of your memory bank of performances?
I remember when Cam Newton in 2010 was down a couple touchdowns to Alabama, and he just brought that team back. He put the team on his back. I mean, Cam Newton's performance that season was consistent. We saw him do that each and every day. It was up there with Cam Newton's performances at Auburn, Brent. I mean, he was efficient from the pocket. He had a couple drops from receivers, but, he was efficient from the pocket. He played hurt. He took a big shot, was drove into the ground, and continued to play and continued to make plays. He just wasn't out there. And then 100 yards on the ground. I mean, the game was in slow-mo to him. That's what it looked like. Very accurate with the football, like I just mentioned. But he was phenomenal, Brett. It was like watching a movie sometimes, watching him make plays, because it seemed like everyone that was on the field was just, supporting cast, and he was the star. I felt like going into this game that he needed to have a lead the band moment. And Brent, you've covered a lot of Tennessee football. You've seen Casey Clausen lead the band after beating Florida. You've seen Josh Dobbs do the same thing beating Florida. I feel like Hendon needed to be special with his legs and with his arm. Remember the Pitt game? Inaccurate at times early in the game. That was not the case on Saturday for Hendon Hooker against Florida. He was on it from the opening kickoff all the way to the end of the game.
Yeah, it's really interesting, but because Casey thrived in those moments, as you know. He loved the moment. He loved the stage. He never worried about where he was playing. He'd rather be on the road than at home most of the time, anyway. In terms of just his mentality, I don't know, Jason, and it's hard for me. Games run together. I'm old, but it's hard for me to sit here and remember. There's not been a lot of times where you walked away from a game and you went, that guy, that quarterback was in complete and utter control of the football game from start to finish. Josh Dobbs was terrific in 2016 in the second half. He
Correct.
wasn't terrific in the first half.
Correct.
Casey Clausen in 01 in Gainesville is an epic win, and he deserved to direct the band. But he got an unbelievable performance by Travis Stevens. This was a Hendon Hook. This performance by Hendon Hooker was I'm the man. I am the best player on the field, and I am in control of this football game. If I'm on the field, this is my game. Everybody else can participate. I welcome that, but it's my game. And you just haven't had. I don't recall a ton of performances, and I don't want to compare him to Peyton. I don't want to go down that road or anything like that. I just haven't seen a ton of performances, Jason, where the quarterback was in complete control of a football game the way Hendon was on Saturday.
Let me add 2 points here, Brent. Hendon did this without his number one receiver, a receiver that in the Pitt game, he threw the ball to 18 times. Sometimes he threw the ball to him when, he wasn't supposed to. And that guy's out, and all he did was elevate the play of the players around him that was supposed to kind of fill in and take some of the slack from him, from Tillman not being out there. Another point, all the talk about NFL quarterbacks in the SEC has been about Will Levis, and it's been about Bryce Young, and it's been about Anthony Richardson. How Anthony Richardson is a first-round talent, which I think he is. But if you're Hendon Hooker, you've heard that. And all you did on Saturday was say, nah, man, I'm better than Anthony Richardson right now. My performance needs to be talked about. I'm an NFL quarterback, and I just proved it to the world on national TV, primetime, CBS 3:30, College Game Day. Everyone better know who I am. That's what he did on Saturday. So you didn't have Tillman, and you outperform Anthony Richardson, who is supposed to be a first-round pick. Now, Brent, Anthony Richardson balled out. Don't get me wrong. he balled out. He did his thing. Don't get me wrong. But Hendon was even better because Hendon took care of the ball, didn't have a pick.
Yeah, I mean, you just never felt like Florida had a chance to stop Tennessee offensively. It was just one of those deals where if they needed to play, Hendon was going to make it, or Tennessee was going to have something schemed up. I mean, you sit there and you're like, as long as Tennessee doesn't make a mistake themselves, they're not going to get stopped. And they really didn't. If Princeton Fant doesn't fumble on the first drive, that's a touchdown,
Mm-hmm.
And then they had the 1 4th down that they missed. Otherwise, Florida didn't stop them at all. And I don't know. I just this offense is amazing to me that Josh Heupel can and Alex Golis can keep getting people open. And I love stories like Hendon Hooker. Okay, I'm sappy and I'm looking for the movie and the Disney ending and all those things in my old age. I just love a guy who perseveres, right? I mean, Here's a guy who he comes to Tennessee. The coaches that he's coming to play for are gone. He stays. Tennessee brings in another quarterback because they're not sure he's good enough. He just waits. He never pouts. He just waits his turn. I project him as a guy who's just a check down guy. He won't throw it down the field. He won't take chances. And then all he's done is just excelled and taken off right here late in his career. I think it's fun. I mean, I think that's what college sports are about. And I know a lot of people say all the stuff going on these days is going to ruin college sports. Man, there's nothing wrong with college football if you're in Neyland Stadium on Saturday. There wasn't even if you're a Florida fan, you left it mad that you lost the game, but you didn't walk out of there going, "Man, that's a bad product." That was a heck of a football game. I mean, it was an entertaining football game where a bunch of guys went out and made a bunch of plays. Tennessee's got a sled load of things to fix on defense. Okay, there's no doubt about that. There's some things they got to clean up on offense, no doubt. But if you watched that game, even if you didn't have a dog in the fight and you weren't entertained by it, then I think you're missing what the sport's about, because that was entertaining. That was an entertaining brand of ball on Saturday afternoon.
And let's highlight some other guys that persevered. How about Jabari Small, who had the stinger? Had the stinger. And this game was the reason why he put on that weight in the offseason, Brent. It's the reason why he got stronger. That backed up possession there right before halftime, where we're at our own 1 yard line, and Small gets 3 or 4 yards on first down, and then there's a little scrum, and then he goes right up the middle and gets 8-9 yards for the first down, giving Hendon enough room to be able to operate and throw the ball. There's third down conversion to Princeton Fant, and then the strike to Ramel Keaton, who had an unbelievable dive. And he's another player. We're going to talk to him here soon, but he's another player. For 3 years, I mean, he's kind of lost in the shuffle. Is he gonna be the number one receiver? Is he gonna be the number two receiver? Is he gonna be 3 receivers? Is he gonna do anything? And then boom, he does it in the biggest game of the year. Has a huge catch, one that you don't make that catch unless you dig down deep with effort, because you gotta put your head down and run even harder while you're running fast to catch up to that ball, time it up, dive, and catch it without the ball hitting the ground. So Ramel Keaton had a dang good day. And the third down catch on 3rd and 16, 17, where it makes 2 guys miss and pick up the first down before that catch, that stood out. So Ramel Keaton was great, but we had new guys emerge and make big plays in this big game.
Well, and I think that's the story of Josh Heupel the last 18 months, Jason. But when you look at what this coaching staff has done the last 18 months, and some people say, hey, fresh start with a new coach and all those things, and all those things are good. Don't get me wrong. But I think what he's done is he's restored and brought confidence to a group of kids. Jalen Hyatt's playing with confidence we haven't seen. Omari Thomas is doing things. Rodney Garner's getting stuff out of him. You know, there was a period I thought Omari Thomas, you know, he's an offensive tackle. I'm not sure he can play defensive tackle in this league. Well, you know what? He can. And he can play it effectively because he played it effectively on Saturday. You mentioned Ramel, who we're going to talk to in a minute. You know, you just didn't know, where does he fit in? Well, you know what? He got an opportunity, and he went and did it because he believed he could go do it. And I think you got to give Ramel all the credit for that, but you also got to throw some credit the way of the Tennessee coaching staff, right? His position coach, the head coach. Hey, we believe in you. Just like Josh Heupel all week long leading up to this game said, you know what? This moment's not too big for us. We love the moment. We welcome the moment. Let's go play ball. And I think that's contagious in this program right now. It's part of the reason why you're seeing them win, but I think it's also part of the reason why you're seeing more and more guys contribute that maybe weren't contributing 2 years ago or even at the start of last year.
Good stuff, Brent. Good stuff. We'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll be joined by Ramel Keaton. We'll also be joined by Joe Milton. These 2 guys right here, they've grown so much. Can't wait to talk to them. Joe Milton has certainly taken his game to the next level. You can kind of see in times that he has played, throwing the ball a whole lot better. And his relationship with the hooker has been, you know, just one to highlight in the entire game of college football. And then Ramel, we know about his big plays against Florida. So keep it locked in right here on Tennessee Prime, brought to you by Gus's world-famous fried chicken. Brent Hubb, Jason Swain. Stay with us.
Bite into that crispy crust with just the right amount of spicy, and you're going to taste the tender, juicy, succulent chicken that is Gus's world-famous fried chicken. A timeless Southern tradition that started over 60 years ago in Mason, Tennessee with a secret family recipe. Gus's has stood the test of time and spread throughout the world. It's not just famous, it's world-famous fried chicken at Gus's.
The game has changed and Spire Sports is here. With name, image, and likeness arriving, your Orange fandom can now be put into action. Visit thevolunteerclub.com and become a member. 90% of every dollar generated through the Volunteer Club, powered by Spire, will go directly to athletes to improve the student-athlete experience at Tennessee. It's not just about winning the next game. It's about next season. It's about the next generation. It's about the Tennessee legacy. Join at thevolunteerclub.com. That's thevolunteerclub.com.
VolQuest.com has been the gold standard for Tennessee football coverage for over 20 years, led by an experienced staff with over 600 games covered amongst them.
Speed, and then some more speed.
VolQuest takes you behind the scenes with features on coaches and players. For only $9.95 per month, find out why VolQuest continues to set that standard. Locally owned, Gus's is located on Sutherland Avenue and has been voted the best fried chicken in every city they've ever gone to. Throw in some delicious and mouth-watering sides, and it's easy to see why Gus's is a must-have at your dinner table. It's not just famous, it's world-famous fried chicken at Gus's.
Welcome back, everybody, to Tennessee Prime. Brent Hubbs of VolQuest.com. I'm Jason Swain of 99.1 The Sports Animal. And this segment, we'll be joined by some ballers here. First, Ramel Keaton, senior wide receiver, had an unbelievable performance against Florida. And Joe Milton, quarterback. Hey, guys, what's going on? How y'all feeling?
Doing good, just chilling.
Sounds like a guy who had a big day, right, Jay Swain?
Hey, he sounds like he's been partying ever since the game. Hey, Ramel.
Yeah.
Ramel, I'll start with you. We'll get Joe in here. How big of a moment was that for you to have a great performance? I know everyone's talking about the big catch, but before you jumped on, I highlighted the third down and 16-17 catch where you made two guys miss. You picked up the first down, and then you had the big catch. I also saw you blocking on the perimeter, doing a great job there. How big of a performance do you feel like Saturday was for you?
I think it was a pretty big performance, but it's still some things I need to work on. That, like, I know y'all don't probably see it because, like, y'all don't see like the film, but it's some things that we need to work on because the game could have went a whole different way. Like if Henry made the plays like on with his feet, because we got to get open on the outside. So still things I need to work on, but I think that's still good that I made some plays to help us out, but that's still some stuff that we need to improve.
Ramel, when you mentioned the things you need to work on, I look at your stats this year: 8 catches, 179 yards, 2 touchdowns. A season ago, you had 5 catches in the whole year for 114 yards. How tough is the waiting game? How have you stayed ready? Because clearly, when it became your time and you were called upon Saturday on the biggest stage, you performed, you delivered. Can you just talk about the mentality you have to have have yourself ready to go whenever your name's called like that? I think we may have lost Ramel. You with me, Ramel?
You just gotta have a mentality to trust what God is doing, trust the process.
How hard is that to do? I mean, how tough is that to stay that focused? I think Ramel's froze up on us, Jay Swain.
That's all good. We got Joe Milton. Joe, it's his turn. No, he's ready to go. We'll get Joe unmuted here, but Joe, it's been cool just to watch. Watch Hendon's relationship. Last year, I mean, you were the starter, got hurt, and had a different role throughout the season. And you was an awesome teammate. You got a chance to learn in a different way. What was that experience like for you? And what is your relationship? How big is that relationship between you and Hendon, and how special is it for you?
I mean, it was difficult at first. After getting hurt for the second time in the second game in 2 different seasons, and both injuries being
I'm back
very
in.
dramatic. Both injuries being very dramatic to the point that I couldn't, fight it off. Just push through it. But through those times, some people may quit. Some people may give up on it. But I fought through the end. I got back healthy, and my relationship with Hendon kind of helped it out more because he helped me push through it. He helped me with perseverance, understanding what's going on throughout life even more. And just our relationship itself is very special because 2 minds is better than 1. 4 eyes is better than 2. So we see things different. Coaches, we go our coach way, and we stick with that game plan. But it's just different things we work on to help each other, to better each other's game. It can take you very far. The more positive you be with it, the more you look at it, and the more you get closer to each other, the more you fight for each other, and the more that the team will believe in both of you guys.
Obviously, Joe, this team's believed in you, and they believed in you at the start of last year and all the way through. You look like you're more comfortable this year. You're playing better. Coaches have talked about some of the things that you've done from a fundamental standpoint. Kind of what was your approach starting back in January? What have you really dialed in on and focused in on? And how much better of a quarterback do you think you are right now than you were at any point, even last year before the injury?
I think it's pretty funny that everybody say that it's better quarterback play, and how much better did I get? But I wouldn't necessarily look at that. I look at it as now I know my receivers, like I know everybody now. I'm not just coming in within a month and just going to go throw the ball to guys I don't even know. So it's like a different outtake now, to the point that I know everybody. I know how the routes are ran. You can draw plays on the book and you can know it that way, but once it's on the field, things get a little different. So, I mean, I look at it like that, man. I don't really look at it as, like last year. Last year happened. I can't go back to what and change what happened last year. So I pretty much just take every day. I take every day serious. Every time I get a rep, I take it very serious. I ask questions, no matter if I know the answer to it. I just want to keep knowing. I just want to keep learning. So that's how I pretty much take it in.
So you didn't. There wasn't any breakdown. There wasn't any real fun. I mean, I know you're always working on fundamentals and techniques, but there wasn't any real tear down and build back up type build. This is just a matter of continuing to get opportunities and continuing to get more and more comfortable in the system and with your teammates.
Yeah, just more learning, more understanding what's going on and why things are ran this way. Why do we do this? Why do we do that? Just pretty much getting a great understanding of the whole offense, the whole concept, the whole coaching scheme, what they want and how they want it.
Yeah, Joe, and I know exactly what you mean because Ramel runs the go route differently than every other receiver. Everyone has different speeds, and so it takes a lot of time
Right.
to build that chemistry. And you were a guy that kind of got here late, and you didn't have that time to build that chemistry. That many people don't understand. That's very, very important. I saw it kind of come out early in the season when you threw a deep pass to Ramel, and it was spot on the money. Also, the dig route to Holiday that was on the
Yeah.
money. He was able to run for a touchdown. So I get exactly what you're saying. And let me get back to Ramel, man. Let me get back to Ramel over here. let me get back to you, Ramel. Three
Yeah.
years, man. You've had multiple coaches, had multiple receiver coaches. How do you feel like going through the different changes, especially with the receiver coaches? How do you think that prepared you for this opportunity this year? Because it seems like everything's clicking, and you're playing your best football right now.
I actually learned a lot from each receiver coach that we had that came through, so it's very beneficial. Because I learned a lot from T. I learned a lot from Cole Burns. I learned a lot from Pope. Like, even when Yak was here, like, I learned a lot from a whole bunch of different receivers, so I can just take a piece of what all of them are saying, just try to make it like my own kind of. I mean, I'm still working on some things, but just taking a piece of what everything that they saying and just trying to hold on to it, learn from it, and like just learn what they saying and applying it. So yeah, I think it's real beneficial.
Did any one of you guys Gator chump during the game or after the game?
You said Gator Chomp?
Yeah, Gator chump, man. The whole crowd was Gator chumping during the game. I want to know, and we
Well,
saw
yeah,
we saw our guy Jalen Wright get Gator chump after the touchdown. So I just wanted to know
yeah,
if you guys Gator chump during the game or after the game celebrating.
yeah. I did a little bit, but they had some Gator downstairs at dinner. I had tried it. It was nasty. I ain't really like it, so I ain't eat it for real.
I don't blame
Had
you,
the
man.
fake, and you got to get that real Florida Gator.
Hey, and Joe, you may want to answer this first about Ramel. I would imagine, Joe, you were not surprised by what you saw out of Ramel on Saturday.
Nah, man. I done seen Ramel multiple times, man. He been working, man. And I don't care who it is in the building. If nobody believe in him, I do. I tell him that every day, man. He can vouch for that, man. No matter what it is. Ramel, man, he's special, man. He just want it, and I see it in him. His parents even come to me after the game, no matter if he did good or not. And they just see how like special he is, man. I feel the same way. I feel like there's multiple things Ramel can do. I feel like things that Ramel can do that's not even been shown yet. And we're just gonna play out for the best of it.
Ramel, I got to ask you. I know it was about more than just the one catch. How many times have you watched the catch? How impressed are you by the diving catch? And what's the best message you got from somebody about the catch?
I don't know how many times I watched it. I would just like I don't know. I don't know. I watched it a lot of times trying to see like how I caught it because I know I looked in all the way. I was just seeing where I kept putting my hands at. But I got a lot of messages like just saying a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know like the best message, but yeah, I looked at the catch a lot. Just I actually learned from the catch like when I like just looking back at it like how I did it. I'm trying to like see how I can do it every single time, like how I can do it consistently. So yeah.
Did you think you were going to get to it? I mean, when it's in the air, I mean, Jason was talking about it earlier. You just drop your head and you try to hit a speed on the GPS you hadn't hit before. Did you think it was out of your reach? When did you think, hey, I've got a shot at this thing?
I mean, I wasn't really trying to dive for it. I was trying to run under it, but like at the last minute, like I seen it kind of like sailing over, so I just dove out a little bit. Just like tried to stretch for it. Like I wasn't really trying to dive. Really, I was trying to run. Like really.
And Ramel, that's the catch. And I don't know if you guys worked on it a lot, but that's a catch that you don't necessarily work on in practice unless you have the big old pad. And so it was more like instincts and it's a great play to catch that and turn your body so that way the ball doesn't hit the ground and protect the ball. Is that something you guys work on during practice, or that was something that, hey, you just reacted and just made the play without much practice?
Don't lie to
I
me.
mean, it was one day. I think Joe had threw me a ball, and it was like 3 inches away from me, and I had went back to him. I told him, in the game I'll die for that, cause in practice you ain't trying to do all that. Like, you just trying to stay on your feet. But in the game, you just got to put extra effort into them balls, especially when you need it. So, yep, it was just a in-game thing. You don't really practice that a lot, but
I mean, it's pretty amazing when you look at that picture that's on the screen. Your right hand's on the end of the ball. Your left fingertips are on the other end of the ball, and the ability to, as Jason said, to get that thing tucked and the ball didn't move. I mean, you stuck it to your shoulder pad, you stuck it under your arm as you hit the ground, and it never moved. When you look at that picture, what was going through your head? Did anything go through your head, or was it just total instinct and you hit the ground, you went, hey, I got the football? Or was it one of those deals you saw it all the way into your body?
Yeah, I saw the whole process when I did it. It was just I didn't get my left hand on it at first. I just had my right. I just used the left to guide it in. Cause I know it was one time, I don't know exactly when, but I had dough for something and I didn't tuck it all the way in and it came out. So I just knew next time I had to tuck it in, keep away from the ground so it won't pop out. So just learning from that time just made it better.
Well, to me, that was top 10 sports center. I think it was number 2. Hearing some of the details, that was actually a one-handed catch, Brent Hubbs, and that should have been number 1. We need to hit up ESPN and get a recount. This is what I think should happen.
I've watched it dozens of times, and the most amazing thing to me about it is that the ball didn't move. There's just so many times where you get your hands on the ball, you just can't. When you're laid out like that, you can't get the ball tucked, and to get the ball tucked like that is just a crazy catch. Joe, you're standing there watching that thing happen, right? I mean, you're standing there because you're engaged in the whole game. What goes through your mind when you saw Ramel lay out like that?
Just another day, man. I mean, I didn't catch a lot of footballs, man. With my year being here, and I always knew a moment like that would come where, I told the coaches the week leading up to the game, I was like, man, Ramel gonna do something. When we do it, it's gonna be big. And at first, everybody just looked at me like, is he for real or is he just joking around? I was like, all right, bet, don't worry about it. Watch this. And when they called the play, and I seen who was at the spot, and I was like, okay. And when Hendon had looked over, and I just saw the ball in the air because I was standing right where Ramel catched it at, where Ramel caught it at, and I was just like, no. Is he gonna keep running? Hold on, I'm on the phone. Is he gonna keep running, or is he gonna dive for it? And I saw him leave his feet. I was like, man, this the one right here.
Good stuff. Here's the thing that's cool that I noticed during this time that we've had with you two. Ramel right now is in the complex. I can tell because there's Tennessee seats in the background. So he's right now putting in work, watching film. And that's what it takes to be good. And that's what it takes to take your game to the next level. And Ramel is doing that for sure. Guys, we're going to take a quick break, okay? We're going to come back. We want to get to the athlete off the field. We want to know more about you. Ramel, you're from Georgia. Joe, you're from Florida. We want to know about you, the person. So we'll get a chance to do that when we come back from break. Tennessee Prime is brought to you by Gus's World Famous Fried Chicken, Brent Hubbs of VolQuest.com, Jason Swain, 991, The Sports Animal, with Joe Milton, Ramel Keaton. Stay with us.
Bite into that crispy crust with just the right amount of spicy, and you're going to taste the tender, juicy, succulent chicken that is Gus's World Famous Fried Chicken. A timeless Southern tradition that started over 60 years ago in Mason, Tennessee, with a secret family recipe. Gus's has stood the test of time and spread throughout the world. It's not just famous, It's world-famous fried chicken at Gus's.
The game has changed and Spire Sports is here. With name, image, and likeness arriving, your Orange fandom can now be put into action. Visit thevolunteerclub.com and become a member. 90% of every dollar generated through the Volunteer Club, powered by Spire, will go directly to athletes to improve the student-athlete experience at Tennessee. It's not just about winning the next game. It's about next season. It's about the next generation. It's about the Tennessee legacy. Join at thevolunteerclub.com. That's thevolunteerclub.com.
VolQuest.com has been the gold standard for Tennessee football coverage for over 20 years, led by an experienced staff with over 600 games covered amongst them.
Speed, and then some more speed.
VolQuest takes you behind the scenes with features on coaches and players. For only $9.95 per month, find out why VolQuest continues to set that standard. Locally owned, Gus's is located on Sutherland Avenue and has been voted the best fried chicken in every city they've ever gone to. Throw in some delicious and mouth-watering sides, and it's easy to see why Gus's is a must-have at your dinner table. It's not just famous, it's world-famous fried chicken at Gus's.
Animal Brent Hubbs, VolQuest.com, part of the On3 network. We are joined by Ramel Keaton, Joe Milton on a beautiful Tuesday. It is Tennessee Prime. And Joe, I know the good people over there at Gus's, man, they've been asking about you. They love you over there, Joe. They miss you, man. They miss you. Got to get you back over there.
I was about to go back over there.
We got to get you back over there, Joe. The catfish is unreal. The chicken is great.
Can you hear me now?
It's truly the best. Oh, yeah.
All right, bet. You heard what I said before that?
Not really, but you can say it again.
I said I was about to go to Gus Fried Chicken the other day. I wanted me some collard greens and macaroni, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. They love taking care of you, Joe. They love you, man. I think it's the hair. They love you. They love you. Oh. Let me start with Ramel. What are some of your interests outside of football? Because during the season it's really hard to disconnect because in season you got the game. But it's important. It's important to have other things going on and kind of decompress a little bit and kind of get that time away from the game. What are some things that you like to do? What are some of your interests?
I like to trade for it. Or I like to sometimes I go fishing on the river right here. But other than that, I don't really be doing too much. Like, I don't really go out like that no more. I just be chilling. And I'm just a chill dude, really, just,
Well,
ain't really a lot be going on.
Well, let me ask you this then. What's your favorite commodity? What's your favorite pair to look at since you like to trade on the Forex?
My top pairs are like indices like US 30, Nas 100. I like crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, gold, GJ. Well, GBP, JPY. I just call it GJ.
Mm-hmm.
But them really like my main pairs that I like to look at. Other than that, none.
Yeah, man. Volatility. We like volatility, right? In the market.
Yeah.
Joe, oh man, we got you standing still. Look like you got a basketball hoop in the background.
Oh, mine
What's some
was
of your
frozen.
interests?
Mine was frozen. That's why. All right. What was the
What are some
question?
of your interests? What are some of your interests outside of football?
Outside of football, I either play the video game, either Call of Duty, or GTA RP on the PC. It's like the real life version of GTA. So basically, everything you do in real life, you do on the game. So in real life, say for instance, you don't have a car and you need to go somewhere, you have to walk. So on the game, if you don't have a car, you have to walk unless you know somebody. And then like the conversations get real. So like you know how there's nobody in the house right now, Hendon's not here, so therefore nobody can hear me. Now if Hendon come in, he can hear me. That's how it is on the game. So if you're around somebody, you get to hear all their conversations. If you're not, then basically be talking to yourself. Other than that, I like drumming. I can play the drums real well. Or I'm playing with my dog. Or if I'm not doing that, me and Hendon, we take turns shooting on a new goal that we got. We play sevens on there. And then as we play in sevens, we just talk about plays.
So both of you guys, I mean, you're a lot of ball all the time, and
Yeah.
you're good with that, right? Like some people are like, I got to get away from it. I got to get away from it. It seems like both of you guys are kind of like ball's kind of always on your mind. Maybe you don't want to be at practice every day, but ball never goes far from your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you always want to learn something new, no matter what it is. So I feel like, yeah, the ball is always on my mind, but there's a time and a place for it. So I feel like once I get in the house, it's either – all depends on the day of the week. We kind of have a set schedule, me and Hendon, on what we do in the house. So it's kind of like depends on the day of the week if ball's on or ball's off.
Ramel, for you, I mean, do you get away? Do you have to get away from it
Yeah.
mentally?
Yeah, because I learned that like my second year here, like you got to take care of your mental because that can affect like the way that you play. So you don't want to be 100% all ball because it's like it's going to affect you the way that you don't want it to. Like you got to have some time for like your personal self and like learn how to develop yourself. So like on the field, like you just having fun, you just playing football, like you just out there doing what you do. So it's not like a whole bunch of stress on you, you know.
For the fans, you know, obviously Saturday was a big deal. I mean, you're getting the monkey off the back. You're beating Florida. You guys hadn't been around. I mean, Ramel, you've been here a little longer than Joe, but you guys hadn't lived 16 of 17 losses or anything like that to one team. What was the locker room like, and what's the day after like when you have a win like that? Is it as crazy as all the outside fans are, or do you guys quickly kind of flush and move on? Kind of what's the 24 hours, 36 hours like after a win like that?
I mean, yeah, it's better than when you lose.
Yeah,
I tell you. No, I'm just playing, but it just feel different. Like outside, just like walking around, everybody just feel happy. Like you can feel it. I don't know how to explain it. You just know, like, you know.
Joe, is it different? You've been in multiple places. I mean, is this place? I mean, if you're describing to your former Michigan teammates or somebody in Florida what it's like to be a football player in Knoxville, Tennessee, what do you describe it like, particularly after Saturday?
I mean, I went to Michigan, so I done been in big games. I done played in big games. I done been top whatever, top 10, top 5. So like in those moments, you realize that you have to move on, because if you don't, then you like keep cherishing those moments you had in the game at Florida, or cherish those moments you had throughout that week of Florida. You're gonna hurt yourself because it will catch up with you. Yeah, we have a bye week, but like you got to understand that everything is moving. Time is moving. Time waits on no man. So you have to attack the next day as, I mean, we 0-0. I mean, there's another game on at task, and we got to go win. So, I mean,
you guys are pretty good high school players, playing on good teams. Ramel, your high school team was pretty dang good, man. Won the state. Joe, you played in Florida. Your team was good. Let's say your team, Joe Milton, was facing Ramel Keaton's team in high school. Which team wins? What?
We beating them. On God. On God. It's been it depends on which year. Because first year that we sucked.
First off, Ramel Keaton, man, I'm sorry, man, but I'm pretty sure y'all would have been pretty frightened when I came out of tunnel with that flag, man. And then also Ramel, my running back was 6'5", too, ran a 4.4.
Okay, we had Aziz and BJ.
I'm not even gonna say what
Aziz and BJ.
I'm not even gonna say what I was
running
gonna say
nowhere.
on here.
You ain't running nowhere.
What? That's what I'm known for, making people miss, man.
The pride. Don't you hear that pride in Ramel's voice? He answered quick, didn't he, guys?
Hey, that's the most animated he's been in 30 minutes. I've been trying to get him to get fired up about his catch, and he's like, yeah. It was okay. He starts talking about high school ball, and he's ready to go get after Joe, talking about his high school team there.
That's right.
They know what's up. They know what's up when Olympia step on the field, man.
Well, guys, let's do this. We got about a couple minutes left. Let's take some questions from our audience, and then we'll get you guys out of here and I'll let you guys get back to studying LSU, because we're not done, man. We got to go and take care of business next week too. So we'll take a couple questions from our audience. So shoot them away, and then Brett Hubbs or myself will read the question to Ramel or Joe. And then, man, we'll get these guys out of here, man. We appreciate y'all's time. Proud of what y'all have done so far, the way y'all carry yourself, and just happy that y'all are able to join us today. Let's see here what we got on our comment section. Let's see here.
Well, while we wait for those to come through and give them some of that, let's throw a couple of rapid fire things at both of you guys. All right, I like this. Ramel, you a superstition guy? You got to wear the same T-shirt, you got to wear the same socks, or get dressed the same way, or you're a pretty low key, let's just go play kind of guy?
Yeah, I'm super. I gotta pray, and I gotta listen to some type of gospel music. I listen to like the same songs, but I gotta listen to some type of gospel music for the game. Or it don't go right. So that's what I got to do.
All right, Joe, what do you got? You look like a guy who might have a couple of things, like special T-shirt or certain playlist, or you got to do something in the locker room the right way.
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm superstitious, but I also do things. But I wouldn't say I'm superstitious about it. But I am, but I ain't. But I'll be contradicting myself if I say the wrong thing. So I just.
So what's your pregame routine?
My pregame routine: I walk in the locker room at the time, and I usually have my shades on. So at the time I'm playing NBA YoungBoy, and as I'm playing them, I'm just undressing, getting my pregame outfit ready. As I'm doing, I'm changing my socks. Depends on what socks I have on. Usually I wear like graphic design socks and ball walk. So I usually go to pregame with those on, just for like a little swag, a little feel good moment. Also didn't want to take off my socks to put on my game socks to get them sweaty. So that's another. Also, before I go throw or stretch, I sit in front of the goalpost. I pray for the team, pray for myself, keep everybody protected. And then I go warm up. Then I get in my zone, and I just throw the ball from any type of platform just so it come off good. And once it's coming off good, I'm good to go.
All right, we're gonna get a break, but we gotta get a couple of these in here, Jason, and they're gonna be mad at me. All right,
let's do it.
Y'all's favorite. This is from Kelly. Y'all's favorite uniform combination. What's your favorite uniform combination that you can wear?
All black.
You like the black mode? What about you?
Yeah.
All black. Yeah, all
All
black.
black. All right. I
No,
think Hendon might
I
have
like
just.
smoky gray too, though.
You like those smoky grays? Joe, I
Yeah.
think Hendon might have just walked in the door because you gave him the be quiet sign. Somebody wants to know, is he a messy roommate or a good roommate? Hendon.
He a good. He a great roommate. Nah, he's far from messy, man. He pretty much have everything organized, down to his beanies, man. So, I say he's a great roommate. It's kind of dog. Oh, I have a pit bull. He's black and white.
All right. Vol Guy 23 wants to know best trash talker on the team. I saw a little bit of that Ramel when he started talking about his high school team, but who talks the best junk on the team?
Oh, that's hard. Yeah, that's hard. It depends. It depends. Who would you say, bro? Me?
You gotta be Kamal Hatton, right?
Oh, I forgot about Kamal. Oh, shoot. I forgot about Kamal. Don't get Kamal started.
Yep, it's Kamal, man.
I
It's Kamal.
think we got the answer there.
Kamal for sure.
We got one question in here that asks, "What's been you guys' best moment so far at the University of Tennessee? Your best moment?"
My best moment?
Favorite moment? Most enjoyable moment?
Most enjoyable moment. It's just pretty much, for me, I'll say just being around the guys, man. Everybody's story is different. Everybody's story is different. So, like, just getting to know everybody's situation, seeing where they come from, seeing how they take it on the field and address it that way is probably the best thing because, where I come from, I lived in 2 different places. I went to a whole different school. I done met a lot of people. So just understanding guys' different backgrounds and just being around those guys and having fun with them.
I'm back
What about
here. I had my phone
what about you, Ramel?
What's your best experience been at Tennessee, Ramel?
Y'all can see me?
Yeah,
go
man,
ahead.
you look great.
What's been your favorite experience as a Vol?
I wouldn't say when I was here, but when I had visited Tennessee Florida game, like when they had came back and won. I like that game right there specifically.
Yeah, you were here here for a visit in 2016 to see those guys.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
That was the game that I was like, I'm coming here. When I had seen them come back, it was that game.
Yeah, wish I seen that game. I seen it the other way around.
And you did at that point. As a guy playing in Florida, that's for sure.
It was hard. It was kind of hard for me. I was a Gator fan, man, so it was kind of hard.
Well, you're not a Gator fan now. Both of you guys are playing it up for Tennessee big time. And I know that both of you enjoy being a part of this program. Ramel, it was great to see your performance on Saturday. Joe, it's been great when you've gotten opportunities. You have run the show like nobody's business. Congratulations to both of you on the start of the season. Thanks for taking some time to join us tonight. And good luck. Enjoy the open date, and good luck with your preparations for LSU.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Man, good stuff from Ramel Keaton and Joe Milton. We'll take well, actually, we will not take a timeout because we have talked a lot, Brent Hose, with these guys, having a good time. The best part.
Go ahead.
No, I said the best part when those guys were bragging about their high school teams being able to beat each other.
Oh, absolutely. And again, that's what being a student athlete is about. You know what I mean? You got pride in who you are and where you come from. And you could hear it in both their voices, that they're carrying their hometown, they're carrying their high school with them. And when they finish at Tennessee, they'll carry Tennessee with them, just like you did, right? I mean, you carry Huntsville with you, and you carry Tennessee with you, and that's just because of the work you put in and your investment. You got a lot of pride in who you are, and both those guys have a lot of pride in who they are, where they come from, and obviously what they're doing right now. Big-time performance by Ramel Keaton on Saturday. Can't say enough. Didn't see it coming, be the first to admit it. And I think Joe Milton has been just Mr. Cool and calm in his two games of play. I think there's a lot of people in the building, Jason, but it's Hendon show. But if Joe had to come in for whatever reason, I think there's a lot of confidence Joe can do and run the full show for this offense because he's playing at a different level than he did a year ago.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Tennessee has the best 1-2 quarterback situation in the country. And I'm not just saying that because we just had Joe on and Hendon did what he did, but I don't think there's a significant drop off like other schools. There's a reason why Hendon's number 1 and Joe's number 2, but Joe I feel like has gotten a whole lot better. I think he's more comfortable here at the University of Tennessee, and you heard him. Another year in the system, another year knowing his teammates. And so Tennessee's in a good spot. You certainly don't want anyone to get hurt, but we know football is very physical and it's dangerous. And so Hendon did take some shots against Florida. So if that were to happen again and he's unable to finish, I think Joe could go in there and make some plays for Tennessee.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting, his comments. He didn't get mad, but everybody is talking about how dramatically different he is, right? And he just doesn't feel it. It's more of a comfort level for him than anything changing with his mechanics of how he throws. And you go back and think, he didn't get here till June, right?
Yep.
He got here in June, started to learn who all of his guys were and trying to learn a new system. And it just didn't get off to a great start for him, and he had the injury. But that it's just I don't think about it that way sometimes. But as a former player, as you mentioned, that chemistry is what it's all about with your receivers.
Yeah, the ball he dropped into Ramel Keaton earlier this season. Hey, that's after a year of having spring, having summer, having last season. He knows how hard to throw it to a guy like Ramel, how hard he needs to throw it to Hyatt. He knows how to throw it to Tillman, and he didn't have that time to figure that out last year. So his body looks different, something I wanted to mention to him while you had him on, but you can just tell, he's different for sure, and he'll get his opportunity. He's too good of a talent, and he's being developed by, one of the best in the business in Josh Heupel. So he'll get his opportunity, and when he does, I look forward to him kind of showing everyone the best version of himself.
No question. That's for sure. And again, we thank those two guys for joining us tonight. And every Tuesday night, Tennessee Prime comes your way. We try to give you an inside look at Tennessee athletes in a variety of different ways. And we appreciate those guys taking time out of their schedule and the open date to visit with us tonight.
That's right. And we'll do it again next Tuesday at 7 p.m. For Brent Hubbs of VolQuest.com. I am Jason Swain. Tennessee Prime is brought to you by Gus's world-famous fried chicken right here on your airways if you're listening on 991 or right there on VolQuest.com's YouTube page. We hope everyone has a great evening. Hope you are back with us next week. Peace and love. Have a great day.